Hello Facebook, hello YouTube, what is up everybody? This is Ruben and I'm back with another Ruben Report. And for today's video, we are doing my 6-month review for my 2005 KLR 650. For the past 6 months, I have been utilizing this bike as a main method of transportation as much as possible. And in the span of those 6 months, let's see, we have accumulated, we are at 18,611.6 miles. I bought this bike when it had 11,600 miles on it. So we have in total ridden this bike for about 7,000 miles, a little over 7,000 miles in the span of 6 months. Now, in the span of those 6 months, I had a little bit of downtime, either due to not so favorable weather conditions or maintenance for the bike. Not too long ago, I actually released, I think almost 2 months ago now, the video where I talked about redoing the whole suspension, getting new tires, putting bar risers, the whole ordeal. That whole ordeal took about 2 weeks in total. And then throughout the dead of winter, there were just certain days where we actually were experiencing winter storms here in Northern California. So city streets were flooded. There was a stay-at-home order released by our governor. So during that time, I actually didn't even have to commute. I just stayed home, worked from home. And then there's other days here and there as well where it was just raining cats and dogs, and I would rather take one of my other vehicles to get to work if need be. So in total, we have roughly 5 months of actual riding instead of 6 months. So reaching 7,000 miles in 5 months is pretty fantastic. But nonetheless, 6 months of riding, 7,000 miles, that's a pretty substantial number. And if you guys have watched the video that I made, should you buy a CC motorcycle, save money on gas, in that video I set certain standards of wanting to reach a certain mileage goal, which I believe for my KLR is somewhere around 12,000 miles. So if I stay on track, especially now since it's springtime and we shouldn't have much rain anymore. We're still getting a little bit of rain. It might actually start raining right now. So I'm gonna try to hurry this up before I get caught in it. But yeah, if I continue on this trend, the bike should actually pay for itself in about 4 or 5 months from now. But we'll talk more about that later on in this video. I'm going to talk with you guys now about a lot of the upgrades that I've done on this bike thus far, to give you guys a little summary about that. And then we'll also talk about maintenance here in a moment. All right, so summarizing the upgrades that I've done so far on this bike, man, it's been quite a bit, but I'm going to give you guys the rundown. So if you have seen my video where I talked about, my new bike, you guys probably have a little bit of an idea of all the things that I've done to this bike, but there's been a couple things that I've added to it. So we're just going to go over everything quickly. So I have handguards, but these handguards have LEDs in them. And I have basically taken my original turn signals and turned them into auxiliary lights, and I put the turn signals in the handlebars, as you guys see there. I'll go ahead and turn this on for you guys so you can see that. All right. Switch it to the other side. All right. And I have the auxiliary lights, which are great for riding at night. You guys probably also saw I put a LED light bulb in the front. So that covers the lighting. Up here I have heated grips. These came with the bike. Phone holder, a little USB charging port. Tall windshield extension. Let's see, what else? I have bar risers. These are recent installs. I'm 6'5", so that's been helpful. Gives me a little bit better riding position. Let's see, what else have I done? The upgraded front rotor gives me a lot more stopping power. Tool tube, highway pegs. We got a manual choke eliminator kit. So with this, it's just a regular push-pull choke. I pull this, turn the bike on, instead of it being down here. We have upgraded suspension. So that is a Top Gun spring in the back. We have, for the front, we have progressive suspension. You guys can see the sticker there. We got rear racks with Apache luggage. Some top box I got off of Amazon. I got a pizza bag for when I was doing DoorDash and Uber Eats. Shinko 705 tires. I got Bluetooth tire pressure monitoring system. Man, what else? What else am I? Oh, did the doohickey as well. Eagle mic. Okay, and we have the thermal bob. All right. And then some other miscellaneous things here, like a rear master cylinder guard that was actually given, and that was there when I first bought the bike. And center stand. What else? What else? I think that is all. I think that is all. I'm just giving a quick rundown, making sure I don't forget anything. I did play around with the gearing on the bike a bit earlier before. Right now the bike has a 15 front sprocket in the front and a 42 in the rear. I think I like this setup as is. And yeah, I think that is the total rundown of all the little upgrades and things that either the bike came with or that I've done. I'm gonna go ahead and put the bike in the garage because it's starting to pour down a little bit. So I'll see you guys in a moment. All right, the bike is in the garage, and as always, I knew I was gonna forget something. So in the back, we also have LEDs for the, rear lighting. And then on the right side here, I have a throttle lock. Okay. That helps if when I was doing my trip down from here to Los Angeles, that was very helpful. And I also have just a regular wristwatch from Walmart, really cheap one, gives me the time. And that, I think, is it. Yeah, that's it. That's all my upgrades. All right. Now we are going to talk about the maintenance of the KLR 650. And for that, I'll let you guys look at my maintenance log that I have for this bike. I'm actually going to add to it as we're narrating it because I got to clean the chain. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the chain. We'll see the maintenance log, and then we'll come back to talk a little bit more about that. All right, here is a look at my maintenance log for my KLR 650. And before we get started here, I'm going to go over what all these little stars mean. Starting with the blue. Blue is for upgrades or new components. This is when I bought something that is like a Farkle or just replaced something with a fresh new set of something, right? This could be new tires. This can be a new little gadget, anything new. Green is going to be oil changes. Red is going to be unscheduled major maintenances. Unscheduled major maintenances are unplanned events. So this is the occurrences where something goes wrong and it's something that's not easy to fix, right? Let's say, for example, my clutch plate breaks. My valve bends. I don't know. Something not necessarily completely catastrophic happens, but something that's going to take a lot of time, take some skilled labor, or cause downtime, right? This is beyond just replacing a bolt, adjusting a cable, something simple, right? That's what major maintenance is. And so red events are the type of stars that you generally want to avoid. But major maintenance in itself is not a bad thing. Orange is the minor maintenances. These are the easy stuff: lubricating, cleaning, adjusting, your typical normal routine things. And then pink will be the same, major maintenances. This is the things that cause a bit of downtime, require a lot more diligence, something that's a little bit more complex, but it's scheduled. It's not something that was a surprise. It's not because something broke. It's just you have to set the bike aside and take the time, for example, to do a valve adjustment. Or we'll also see on this list where I did the doohickey upgrade, right? Things like that. So going through the list here, we're seeing a lot of, especially in the beginning, a lot of blue, where I did the LED and put my luggage on there, phone mount, hand guards, USB stuff, your typical cleaning and lubricating the chain. I'm putting the center stand on there. Down here we have my first pink star incident. This is when I did my first valve adjustment. Basically, the first month of me owning the bike, I was just taking my time, setting it up the way that I wanted to, and going through it, right? Check the valves, because the person who sold it to me said the last time he checked it was like 6 years ago. When we go on here, some more, like rebuilding the carb, cleaning, lubing the chain, disabled the air cutoff valve in the carb. That's like a little upgrade that I did. And then here, Eagle Mike doohickey. That's our next pink star with the torsion spring. And the last pink star that I have so far, no, this is the third pink star, not the last one, is where I corrected the camshaft timing on the bike. Other than that, we have a whole lot of orange and blue, more orange, checking tire PSI, lubricating the chain, inspecting things. We continue to go on, more blue and orange, green and blue, oil changes and stuff. Here, I replaced the battery in February. The battery that was in the bike previously, I kid you not, was 9 years old. The bike was running on a 9-year-old battery up until this February mark, and it was still running. It would still turn on and turn over. Sometimes it just took a little while. So I went ahead and replaced the battery at that point in time. 9 years of battery service was pretty amazing. Continue on, more just regular stuff, and then we get to one of my most recent video when it comes to maintenance is where I set the bike down for about 2 weeks to do a whole lot of things. Rear shock and the front springs, install ball risers, put the Eagle Mike drill through subframe bolt in here. I mean, you guys can read this whole list here. New tires, all of it. So the bike was down for some time. That's why I went ahead and put that pink star there. But as you guys can see, the majority of the stuff that has been going on with the whole ownership so far has just been regular, routine stuff. There's been 0 red star incidences, anything that would cause me to not be able to ride the bike for any period of time. So this is also in one of the older videos that I did that I was like, it's going to be quite boring for me to document literally every single day for me to clean and lubricate my chain. I just found it quite redundant. But here we are looking at my maintenance log, just so you guys can get an idea of what's been going on. All right. The chain has been lubricated and cleaned. And as you guys have seen with my maintenance log, things have been relatively easygoing. Nothing out of the ordinary that you wouldn't expect from an 18-year-old bike. Most of it has just been your typical routine maintenance. So I've been very happy about that. Now, when it comes to issues that I've had with the bike, or my pet peeves of the bike, rather, maintenance-wise, has been fasteners. In particular, the fasteners for the oversized brake rotor relocation bracket. So the fasteners that are located here, these are the ones that are covered up by tape right now. And the reason why they're covered up with tape, I'll show it to you in just a moment. The original fasteners that came with this relocation bracket that were supplied by Tusk, I believe, at some point they fell out. Now, the original Kawasaki fasteners, they're still here and they hold in the actual brake caliper. They've been fine. But the ones that were supplied by Tusk, they vibrated out at some point, and they didn't vibrate out, all at once. They actually came out one at a time. So it was like one day, I was trying to grab a handful of brake a little bit, and it felt weak. And then I saw, this bottom bracket kind of dangled out a little bit. So it was still connected, but it was just slightly slid out a bit. Went to Home Depot, replaced that fastener there, and then put a whole bunch of Loctite on it, and I covered it up with tape so that doesn't happen again. And then another day, the top one did the same thing, and again replaced it with a fastener from Home Depot, put a whole bunch of Loctite on it, and put tape on it. So I haven't had any issues with it since, but that would be my main issue with that I've had, is dealing with certain fasteners. Now, it's not the fasteners from Kawasaki per se, but still fasteners. Other fasteners that I just had to routinely check, like the foot pegs and one on the exhaust. I put Loctite on that one, and it hasn't given me any issues since. But yeah, a lot of the other fasteners have just been like a one and done type thing. These ones I kind of keep my eye on. The second thing is, as you guys can see here, it's kind of soaked up a little bit. I think this fork seal, and you guys see on the ground too, has started to leak. I suspect that the fork seals, they honestly should have been replaced when I did the whole fork spring suspension upgrade. I should have just went ahead and replaced it at that point in time. So I don't know how old the fork seals are in the bike right now, but that's the next maintenance item on my list, on my to-do list. Another thing that I would like to do at some point is open up the clutch side of the engine, so that way I can get to the oil screen in there, because I've never checked it yet. Okay, so maintenance, that's been my maintenance log, what I've done, what issues that I've had with the bike, and maintenance that's on the to-do list. Okay, and now we're going to talk about just my overall review of the bike thus far. So after riding a little over 7,000 miles in a saddle for the past 6 months, I honestly have to say that I'm extremely pleased with the bike for what it is, right? Again, I utilize this motorcycle as a commuter bike. It's not for fun, not for pleasure, not for recreation. This has been my go-to, my ride or die, my trusty steed, something that I rely on to get me from point A to B. And for that purpose, this bike has been absolutely amazing. Is there better bikes out there? Yeah, if you were to ask me if I could have whatever bike I wanted, I would probably say an Africa Twin. Again, I'm 6'5", so the types of motorcycles that are available to my disposal that I find comfortable for me to actually sit on and ride on is very slim. Very slim to none, really. So, is there a better bike out there for the purpose of commuting or getting to and from where you need to go? Yes. An Africa Twin would be better. A V-Strom would be better. A Honda CB500X, although not for me, but it would be better. The KLR's power output and how fast it goes, and MPG. I mean, there's just a lot of different aspects about this bike that could be better, but for around $2,000, I can't think of any other bike that could give you as much capability and reliability as it's given me for around that price point. And I think that's exactly it. For around $2,000, you can't really find another bike that's going to be as capable as a KLR 650. And in that regard, this bike has basically been, metaphorically speaking, like an old Toyota Corolla or an old Toyota Camry, right? Is it the best car in the world? No. Would you rather be driving something else? Maybe. But I mean, for $2,000, you can't beat it. It's the vehicle that just gives and gives and gives and keeps on giving, and this doesn't break. And that's what the KLR has been. It's been the bike that I've been able to throw a leg over, get to where it is I need to go, and it does not break. And for that, that's exactly what I was looking for, and that's exactly what I am appreciative of when it comes to this bike. And so that's my summary for the KLR 650 and my review so far. I am beyond pleased and very grateful to be able to have it and have been riding it for the past 6 months, and hopefully I will be able to reach my quoted mileage goal for this bike to reach my return on investment. If you guys have watched the video that I made about 6 months ago, almost, in January, I talked about really should you buy a CSC motorcycle, really talking about that bike back there. But in that bike, I talked about my KLR 650, and in there I talked about a certain mileage threshold that I would reach in order to pay this bike off, practically, with the gas savings that I receive. And that mileage goal is somewhere around 12,000 miles, if I'm not mistaken. And about reaching 12,000 miles this year, I want to talk to you guys a little bit, just a small little life update. I've talked about this in one of our motor vlogs as well, but I'm currently in the process of wanting to look for a new job position. I'm looking to move up in my career, doing something with networking, network infrastructure, those types of things. And hopefully, I've been applying, and hopefully I can get a remote position, so a position where I can actually just work from home. So that's going to eliminate the need for me to have to commute back and forth, hopefully, from an office. Or if I don't get a remote position, maybe I'm just gonna, who knows, have to commute back and forth from a different place that's just not as far, or what have you. So the mileage goal that I have quoted, it's still the mileage goal that's necessary, around 12,000 miles, for me to get a return on investment. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to reach that by the end of the year, just due to circumstances changing. But all in all, if circumstances don't change, if I still keep my current job position, I will probably reach my return on investment threshold in the next 4 to 5 months. If things do change, well, we'll see. And that's what I wanted to leave you guys with. However, one thing I can say about the KLR 650 is that with the amount of mileage that I've reached so far, actually, realistically speaking, literally next week, I will have reached or possibly surpassed the amount of mileage that I have ridden. On my KLR, I would have surpassed the amount of mileage that I have ridden with my RX-3 back there. And that is with the amount of actual riding time in about a little over 5 months, but realistically, 6 months, or a little over 6 months. And that is intense. In many of my other videos, I've constantly said, I was expecting to do about 14 to 15,000 miles a year. And here we have it, a bike in my possession that has given me the ability to literally ride it every single day and not be broken all the time. Here we are, 7,000 miles in 6 months instead of 7,000 miles in a year. So, if circumstances don't change, we're most definitely gonna reach that amount of mileage. But again, circumstances might change, and I hope they do change. It's definitely going to be a lot better for my family, and just a lot better for my career to be able to work from home. And if circumstances do change, that means that my primary use for this bike was probably going to change as well. That doesn't mean that it's going to be the end for the KLR. I'm still going to use it to go everywhere that I need to go. It's still going to be my main method to do whatever it is that I need to do. Grocery shopping, errand running, whatever. But I might start to dabble in, what it's really built for. Maybe I can take it on some adventures. Maybe I can do some trips for you guys and do little motor vlogs, take you guys along with me, which will be fun. But as of right now, it's still just used as transportation, and if circumstances do change, I'm going to update you guys and give you guys a little video of me talking about the new life changes, probably another motor vlog video. Until then, if I'm ever going to do another update, I'm going to do another update like this possibly in a year, or when I actually reach my return on investment threshold, whichever comes first. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe, share, whatever you guys would like to. Thank you guys for visiting my channel. Again, check out the other videos that I've made about this bike and the videos that I mentioned within this video here. And they're probably going to be attached to the end, so stay tuned to the end. Thank you guys for watching, and stay safe out there. Peace.
Show love, show love, show love. When they don't want you to shine, show love. Just wait on your time to come up. Keep faith when you're down in your luck. Stay down till you come up. Gotta smile even when they mug. You kill them when you show a little love. When I'm bad, then run that up. Tell them, man, God, I trust. Roll it, pulley on my arm. Bitch, can't squeeze that ball. It's been a while, nothing comes over.